All right. Well, there are only 13 of us, but I'll go ahead and get started. Um, so tell me what you're doing. Anybody can pipe in here. What you feel like you're doing to set yourself apart from your competition.
Offering myself and my big brand and my experience, and the list goes on and on and on.
Okay. And what do you mean by your brand?
My brand is Downtown Daryl. I spent tons of money so that everybody in town would know my brand.
Mm-hmm.
And they trust it. They know I've been in business for years, so that sets me apart from quite a few others.
Okay. I see even on MLS, you are, your first name is Downtown and your middle initial is D. So you're Downtown D Hunt, even on MLS.
The MLS actually branded me as Downtown D Hunt.
Cool. Cool. What does that mean to me as a consumer?
If you're looking for properties near downtown, I try to make my brand to where people think, if they're thinking of any properties downtown, they automatically think of Downtown Daryl.
Awesome. Awesome. Do you feel like that's working for you?
It's worked for me for the past 12 or 13 years now.
Awesome. Cool. Anybody else? What are you doing, Dalton?
It's kind of a loaded question, but I would say if there was like one thing that I specifically work towards and separating myself is taking on somebody that's worked with a prior agent to sell their home. So I would typically say, hey, here's these XYZ sales that I have, 100 days with another agent, 400 days with another agent, 3 days with me, 5 days with me. So I'll use that and use specific sales as my past to separate myself and say, hey, here's why we're better, because we do different things. We have marketing techniques and stuff. So that's what I would use in one example, I would say.
Okay. So you are a problem solver. You've got a property that you're worried about maybe not selling quickly, then you're the guy, right?
Yep.
Or if it would sell in 10 days, I'm going to sell it in 4, whatever it is, right?
Right. Yep.
If it would be 100 days, I'm going to sell it in 25. Fair enough?
Yep.
Okay. So that's your thing.
Yeah,
and you have plenty of ammo that you can send out quickly on that, right?
Yeah, I've already put together. Another thing I do is everything that I have is created by me. So I don't do auto-generated CMAs from the MLS. I have my own branded CMA that looks exactly like an appraisal. So my name and stuff on it. Everything I have, my materials, is all done and made by me on all my spreadsheets and pages and all that stuff. But yeah, I would say the biggest thing is for me to say, hey, look, here's this seller that was on the market 400 days, 48 hours with me. You know, here's why we're different. And that has worked pretty well for me.
Excellent. Excellent. How much work would you say you put into creating all that branding type stuff and standing out?
A lot of time.
Okay.
But the reality is that a lot of that takes a lot of time up front, and maybe over time it just needs to be critiqued or slightly changed based on different scenarios. But once it's done, it's like, for me, it's in my folders. If I need to do it, I just pull it up, autofill in, and then print it off. So once it's created, I have it forever.
Dalton, how long have you been in the business?
A year and a half.
Yeah, I know the answers to most of these questions. I'm just treating them like a witness in a trial. That's a great example, and that's why Dalton's doing very, very well. High-end, you are newer to the business. Tell me what you're doing to stand out.
Well, honestly, that's why I'm in this class, to get some tips. I haven't really done much since this whole pandemic thing. It's except for just connecting with my sphere of influence, posting just occasionally though on my social media. But basically, other than that, not much else as far as reaching out to the public.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Fair enough. Vivian, you told us a little bit this morning. Vivian has, she's created, I'll let her tell it. Go ahead, Vivian.
It helps if you unmute yourself, I believe. I ordered the hot and cold gel packs that you can put in the fridge or in the microwave. And I wrote a little slip up that I printed at the office. Thank you, Ryan, for helping me that day. And basically, I'm doing a door hanger scenario on all of my for sale by owners that I'm pulling up. So I'm going to Redfin, Zillow, FSBO websites in general, and I'm just checking them, make sure they're not listed, because that way I don't step on toes. And I deliver them to their doors, wherever their actual mailing address is, because the FSBOs are sometimes not occupied by the owners. So like Dalton, it gives me a hands-on, really scrutinizing who I'm picking and choosing to work with.
Okay, why should I take my FSBO off the market and list it with you?
I'm not asking you to list it. I'm telling you I want to bring you a buyer. I want you to pay me for that buyer.
Okay.
And help you market it to that buyer.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fernando, what are you doing to stand out? You got to unmute, Bubba.
Yeah. Hi, Brian. Basically, I'm working with my web page. It was an expensive web page. They promised me that I was gonna get some leads because they have a system of promotion of the web page. It wasn't true. So I need to invest money in trying to get leads from a web page and working with Facebook. So basically what I'm trying to do is to work with social media and with my web page.
Okay. All right. So I just want to give you guys a feel for what some of the other realtors are doing. And so I want you guys to have, and we talked about this before, have something quickly you can give me when someone asks you, what do you do? Daryl, very nice to meet you. What do you do? Vivian, nice to meet you. What do you do? And have something that's 20 seconds to get across what you do, how you can help them, how they can reach you. Okay. So that's just a very basic thing, but that's what, when you guys are doing things to stand out, that's what you need to do. But let's talk about social media. Okay. How many of you guys are using a Facebook business page? Just raise your hands. If I got your video, just raise your hands. Facebook business page. Okay. If you're not, you need to. It's free. Do it. What we've talked about before, and I'll tell you again, I want you posting on there 3 or 4 times a week. You can do more if you want, of actual articles, content, good things that are going on. Tampa's the #1 market for this. Orlando's the #3 market for that, right? Something like that. Interest rates are going up and down, whatever they are, right? And we talked about this, I know, because I asked you guys, is it a good time to buy or sell? Always, right? For both. So get that stuff out there, and then at least once a week, share that from your personal page. Because the people out there that know you and love you, your whole sphere, they need to know that you're a realtor and that you're serious and that you're great. And so what we're doing, like when we do, the awards thing, we had them scheduled right before the COVID thing hit. And so now I know you guys we kept hoping things would get back to normal. They're not going to, 200 days to flatten the curve or whatever it is. It's not going to happen. So we're meeting you guys at whatever office, the Orlando, Tampa office, and taking pictures of you so you can use, and Carissa's coming. So you guys can take a picture with the broker and with your award. We'll keep social distance, but 6 feet apart. The award can be in the middle, and you guys are going to be able to use that for marketing. That is really one of the main purposes of the award, right? We all like awards, but it's nice for the marketing. And what does that show? I'm a multi-million-dollar producer. I'm a gold producer. I'm a platinum producer. Whatever I am, it shows that I'm a valuable realtor and I do a lot of business. And you wouldn't be the first crazy person to choose to use me, right? So hold on one second. So that's what we want to get across with that. Create your Instagram page. I don't care if you're old and you don't use Instagram. Create an Instagram business page, okay? Get people to use that. Pinterest. Create a Pinterest page for individual properties, individual listings. Is a Pinterest page going to sell a listing, Daryl?
Is a Pinterest page? No.
Right. But what does that do when you go into another listing appointment and you show people I use Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest? Here's some examples of that, right?
Just another part of your marketing.
Right. And then so Daryl comes in behind me and they say, oh, do you do any Instagram or Pinterest? And oh, Pinterest doesn't sell properties. You know, they don't want to hear that. The same way they don't want to hear that open houses don't sell properties, right? When somebody wants an open house, you hold one. It's for you, not them, but they think it sells properties, right? But you know, it's a good place to get leads. So, but what do? You do it to make them happy. Yes, absolutely. I hold open houses, as many as you'll let me have here. Okay?
I do it to get emails for my newsletter that I send out twice a month.
Great. Which makes you what, Daryl? Does that make you stand out?
Yes, it does.
It does. And it gets back in their face that, look, here's a professional realtor. Daryl, great guy, professional realtor. Fantastic. Can't wait to use him again. So stuff like that, stuff like promoting them, and promote your listings on your Facebook page, promote other people's listings on your Facebook page, but use that as examples of how you promote stuff, right? Print those out, take nice colored copies of those things to your listing appointments. Create a Google My Business page. You might guys want to write this down. My Business page for Google. Why would you do that? What's the number one reason you would do that?
Reviews.
To show on a Google search, because I have a Google business page.
What does Google love? Google loves Google and other businesses that Google owns. So my business page, Google My Business page is fantastic. They want to grow that, so they're going to promote you just getting that free page. Okay. You will show up in their searches more often and more prominently with those. Webinars. Host either webinars, right now webinars, but when we get to where it's safe again, host in-person seminars. Investors, first-time home buyers, you got to give them value. Let's talk about your Facebook page, your Facebook posts too, and whether you boost them or don't boost them, whatever you do for them. You run ad campaigns and ad sets and all that kind of stuff. What do you guys think when you just see somebody puts their business card on Facebook and it's a sponsored boosted post, their business card?
They're being lazy.
Right. Well, yeah, that's the realtor in you. What if you were just a regular person? What if you were a regular person and you see that?
You probably don't want to see it.
Right. You keep scrolling, right? Because if there's one thing you have enough of, it's realtor friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
People,
Right.
You got enough realtors. You're not going to use Susie Dalton because she put her, and I made that name up, because she put her business card on there. Hey, I'm a realtor, Susie Dalton, come use me. You've got plenty of realtor friends, right? So that is lazy. You're right, Daryl. From our perspective, that's lazy. Here's what's good. Pool homes in Tampa under $399, right? Click here for more information. Reply below for more information and give them a form, give them whatever it is that you can do for them to get them into your system, get them into your contacts, right? And then what do? Put them on auto search. Here's 11 of them we have right now, and here's an auto search, right? You give them something of pool home. I can get a pool home in Tampa for $399. Well, maybe not, but maybe in the Lutz or maybe somewhere right around there. You can stick me somewhere in the Tampa area, right? Well, this is what we have now. We don't exactly have that right now, but here's what we do have. Okay, and I'll set you up where you'll see things right when they come on the market or right when the price drops. Okay. So that's the way, that's what you do on these Facebook ads to get interest if you're going to be boosting posts and stuff. I want you to do that kind of stuff. Okay. That is what's going to make your ad stand out to people. You're giving me something, not putting something in my face. All right. Everybody got that? I do like the ones with, oh, look, what do you guys like better, this mountain kitchen or this beach kitchen? You know, that kind of stuff is okay. It gets people corresponding with you. But the ones who, if you actually want to get your tentacles out there and connect to people, offer them something. Okay. That's just a pet peeve I want to talk about. So webinars, host these things, whatever it is that you know, whatever it is that you're an expert on, whatever your niche is, get out there and teach people. Okay. People like webinars. People like that. You guys are all coming in here today. This is kind of a webinar. I mean, people like that stuff. And then they view you as what?
An expert.
The expert, right? And that's what they want to work with. Guys, I say this, I think every meeting, This is the biggest decision people made in their lives, whether it's their first house for 75,000 or their last house for $1.5 million. This is the biggest decision they're making. Okay. They want to work with an expert. You know, you might be a fun friend to have, but they want to make sure that you're also an expert. Okay. So, this is going to sound old school, but that's why it works. Sponsor a little league team. Sponsor a beer league softball team. But I like the sponsoring people's children. They love that when you sponsor that, right? I can tell you all of the sponsors of the kids teams that my sons played on, right? But that used to be a thing, and it's going to make me sound old to some of you guys, but when I was young, a realtor had like a gold blazer, and they joined the Chamber of Commerce, and they sponsored the league teams, and they went to church even if they didn't believe, and they did all kinds of stuff just to get out there and meet everybody and connect with people. If somebody sponsors your child's little league team, if you don't do this, you should go and thank them, right? But that's why Bill's Plumbing and Bob's Furniture and Dalton the Realtor, that's why these people do this. Yeah, their kid's probably on the team, but even if their kid's not on the team, they should do that, right? My aunt is she's a broker, but when I was young, she was a realtor. When I was in Little League, she was a realtor, and she sponsored a Little League team in our league, and she didn't even have a son. She didn't have a kid. She had a daughter. She had a daughter. But she didn't have anyone in the league, but she still sponsored it because it was smart. Okay. But that's the kind of stuff that still works. And yeah, it's not the lifeblood like it was for her back then, but it is an extra couple of deals a year. And, you know, could you guys all use extra couple deals a year? Probably. Is it worth $500? If you've got $500 of this, right?
Yeah.
So
yes.
Good. So that's just an example, but there's all kinds of things you can sponsor. It doesn't have to be sports. It can be whatever. It can be a band. It can be anything that you want it to be. Relationships. Create relationships with people. Divorce attorneys. I talked about this before. Divorce attorneys, probate attorneys, accountants, obviously lenders, and obviously new home salespeople. Create relationships with these people, right? Go see these people with a box of donuts, you know, just go out there and create relationships, but call these divorce attorneys and let them know, hey, I'm here if you have somebody. What's the worst thing they can say to you?
No.
Correct. I mean, they might say worse, but it's going to be no, right? That's the worst thing they can give you is a yes or a no. So that's all they can do. Create a niche. And we talked about earlier, Daryl, that's a perfect niche. I love it. Downtown Daryl. When people think of downtown, they think of downtown Daryl, right? That's what you want. If I'm looking for a house, I'm thinking about downtown. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm thinking, who's the best agent for downtown? Let me see. Oh, how about downtown Daryl, right? Just like, I mean, if you're, you know, wherever you are, you can be Hillsborough High-End or, you know, whatever's in Tampa and Dalton could be that, you know, so be something, either an area, a pet lovers, you can be the pet lovers realtor, right? You can be the dual income, no kid realtor. You can be whatever it is that you want to be. Investment realtor. How about somebody who works mostly with Disney employees? Somebody who works mostly with tech employees on the East Side. Whatever it is, come up with your niche and do that and market yourself, brand yourself.
And it's not that you're just not going to sell in that particular area like I do. I pick up buyers and sellers from all the areas around. I'm not just downtown. I had a penthouse listing. I sold a penthouse. They wanted to buy a home because he was a bachelor and they just got married and they wanted to develop a family. So I sold them a $2 million house up in Stanford. And then I sold their penthouse downtown. So,
right.
So you're not setting yourself in a certain area. You are, but you're not.
Right. But Daryl, if somebody is going to move out, let's say people are moving out of downtown, they're going to want to sell their place and you're going to offer to help them move to the suburbs or wherever they want to live. Right. Or you'll refer them, maybe they're moving to California. You're going to refer them to somebody and make some money. So no, it's just a way to get your foot in the door. Because you guys also know that if I'm Windermere Wayne, and they're looking for the 4-3 in Windermere, and we go look at them, and they say, "Gosh, $700,000. I thought I was going to spend 400." And they'll start, as you know, when you guys start showing these homes, and we talked about this before. How many times have you shown 4-3s in a certain area, or a 3-2 somewhere? Usually it's the other way around. Usually it's a 3-2 somewhere, and they start sending you Zillow leads for a 4-3 on the other side of town. Happens all the time. So you might start looking downtown and decide, you know what, those prices aren't for me. Daryl, can you find me something in Oviedo? Right? Can you find me something in Ocoee? Can you find me something somewhere else? Because that's what people do. They change their mind. They don't have any idea what they're asking for. They don't know the market like you do. So it's important to get those things out of them too, so they don't go look for, Oviedo Owen and leave downtown Daryl, right? So you want to make sure they know that you can buy and sell anywhere. But you've got to attract them with something, and that downtown moniker is a great way to do it. Or I'm Pete that works with pets. You got dogs. I love dogs, and maybe my business card has me with my dogs on it, and maybe my website does, and all that stuff, and I'm pushing dogs. Whatever it is, right? So whatever it is, brand yourself. It does not have to be. It doesn't have to rhyme with your name or anything, or use alliteration. Nothing like that. It can just be something that you do and something you're known for. Post-sale and pre-sale. Well, let's talk about this. First, I want to talk about pre-sale. Incentive programs. You guys have seen the Heroes program. I've talked to you before about the charity program. You meet with somebody and you say 10% of whatever I make. We're at 100% here. So 10% of everything I make goes to the charity of your choice. First you warm them up with, hey, Carol, when you guys can give to charity, what charity do you give to? And you're going to tell me whatever it is that you love. Okay. And then we're going to talk from there. I'm going to find out why. We're going to get emotional a little bit. And then I'm going to say, just so you guys know, 10% of everything I do goes to the charity of your choice. All right. And then at closing, we're going to actually do that. And then after post-closing, when I use my social media, I'm going to say, the Burnett family, not only were they able to get the house of their dreams, they're also able to give, $1,400 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. To find out how to be more like the Burnetts, give me a call, right? Again, you guys have heard me say this before. I'm not the hero. The Burnetts are the heroes. I just help them do it. Okay? So if you want to be like the Burnetts, let me know. All right? But those are things to do. The Heroes program for nurses, doctors, all these people, anybody you consider a first responder, you can make it for whatever you want, Daryl. You can make it downtown. People, the downtown partnership program. If you've lived downtown 5 years, you get whatever, right? But I like the ones for people based on their industry, because they've got break rooms and lounges, and teachers and have lounges, and nurses have break rooms, and firefighters sit around the firehouse. People talk. And they all have jobs, good jobs, and they can talk. So that's all good. Post-sale, again, this is where your 100% comes in. Get them something nice. Give them a nice gift. Get them the 6 months free ADT we talked about this morning that a lot of you guys missed. 6 months free ADT if you sign up with Rusty. I sent you guys all the email yesterday. Okay? Do that. Reach out to them for, again, we always talk about this, homestead exemption by March. Reach out to them for their holidays and birthdays. Put them on the drip campaign. Reach out to them. Oh, referral program. And this is something I came up with, but referral program for, and when I say I came up with it yesterday. Referral program. You refer me somebody, you get 10% back on your next commission for every person you send me, up to 5 people. Right? You send me 5 people that are going to buy and sell a house, and before you move again, then your next commission, I'm going to give you 50% off. I'll give it back to you. Right? Just something like that. Just come up with a program like that. So you can't give them, you're not supposed to give them.
Remind them every month.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or every 6 months or whatever. Keep that in their mind.
Absolutely. And they'll get used to it. And because people are going to ask them about a realtor and say, you got to talk to High End. She's my realtor. She's fantastic. Right? That's what look at High End smiling. She's like, that's what I want people to say. Well, you've got to stay in their consciousness. You got to stay, and you got to be the one who follows up. Because again, I've told you guys this before, 30%, less than 30% of buyers 3 years after buying could remember their agent's name. Less than 30%. less than 3 out of 10 could remember Dalton's name 3 years after he sold him a house.
I've got 2 listings right now that they bought the home 3 years ago.
Right, from some other realtor, and they didn't bother using them.
Yeah, they don't even know who they are.
Perfect.
There you go. Perfect.
There you go. So other people, you guys may or may not know this, but we have 840 agents now. 440 of them are paying realtors. Okay. How many people are on this right now? 20 participants right now. We had like 25 this morning. Guys, people, and a lot of people out there working and stuff, so I'm not putting them down, but I'm just saying, people don't, your fellow realtors aren't trying that hard. I see the same ones of you in here every week. Your other realtors aren't trying that hard, your fellow realtors. And a lot of you guys call me and you say, oh, this realtor on the other side is such a pain. I'm doing all the work, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? That's why you're going to be rich if you do it right. That's why you're going to do well if you do it right. Thank God they're all idiots. Okay. Next time, I want you to call me and say, Ryan, you're not going to believe this. I feel so good about what I'm doing because I'm working with an idiot. You're going to work with a lot of idiots, and you're going to work with a lot of people. It's their cousin, it's their brother-in-law, it's whoever it is that's an idiot, and they're just using them because they're family, or they're giving them half their commission back, or they're doing whatever. But be glad when you work with idiots. You see other idiots like Daryl. We talked about lazy. You see lazy people. You see lazy realtors. You see that. Be glad. Okay, it's a blessing to you guys. If everybody out there was geniuses, you'd be struggling, right? We'd all be fighting the same battle. So be glad for that. Post-sale gifts, we talked about. Referral program. Do you guys have any kind of questions about any of the things that we've talked about, or any ideas how to stand out further?
On the Facebook ads, what I do is, what I've done in the past is all my listings, I get professional photographs. So I take those professional photographs and I do Facebook ads and boost Facebook ads by them. And I narrow it down to my niche, which means if I have a listing downtown, I do my Facebook campaign to actually go to the 32801 zip codes so that everybody downtown sees that particular ad. And it's good to really go towards the actual people that actually live there. And that's how I get listings from there, rather than do a general, because general wastes money. You want to go down to the very nitty gritty to get the actual good leads.
It's gotten really, really, really hard though. You know, with now you have to run a 15-mile radius if you're running a Facebook ad because it's considered housing. So fair housing laws have restricted that. So Google and Facebook both have changed the rules multiple times since last October that have made it extremely difficult, because I would love to, when I put a listing on, to come right back down to like 1 mile from there, but I can't. I'm now restricted to 15 miles.
Have you asked somebody else that does Facebook ads?
What was that?
Because there might be different algorithms that you can use.
Yeah, when I try to run it, they'll reject it because they'll say it's a housing ad, and then they make me run it as a housing ad, which requires me to go 15-mile radius from a specific address.
Okay.
I can't even remove, like I couldn't even do 21 years and up. I had to include 18-year-olds, which is frustrating. But
right.
Yeah.
So.
Well, guys, when you run these ads for these listings, again, the purpose isn't even really to sell them. The purpose is, and this is why you need to do it, even if you think, oh, why should I promote this listing? I'm sure it's going to sell in 3 days. I'm going to have a contract on it, blah, blah, blah. Still do it. Still do it, because then the next time you go in, when people see that, they say, I wish my realtor was promoting my listing like that, right? That's what they see and say. It's not so much I'm going to buy a house because I see it on, if I were serious about buying a house, I'd already have a realtor working for me, most likely.
Right.
But I might buy a house I see on Facebook. That could happen. But most of all, I want everyone out there to see what a great realtor I am and how much I'm going to promote my listings. So who should you list with? The guy who, sells the easy ones, or the person who's going to market your property? It's not even about that, to selling that particular one. It's about the future. Going into my next listing appointment and say, look, here are my Facebook ads, and I want a bunch of them. I want a thick stack of them. Facebook ads I run for people, and put them in a binder so they don't think they're going to keep them. But run nice color copies of your, Facebook screenshots, things that you run. Hopefully it gets a lot of action. I know I like all of you guys' stuff when I see it. Hopefully it gets a lot of action. and you can have on there how many likes and shares and stuff it got, right?
And that's one of the
Some of those shares are going to be you guys sharing it to your business page, sharing it to the FRI agents page, whatever you can do. So
back to standing out. That's usually what I do is like, I run the ads just because it's one of those things where I walk in and say, hey, look, here's how I stand out from other agents. I actually run ads. And even if I know it's going to sell quick, like you said, I still want to run it so that I can use that in my next listing presentation.
right. And one of the things I was talking with Abby about earlier, we are, some of us appear a little bit older than Dalton, let's say, or Hyann or Abby, right? Some of us appear a little bit older, and we need more than they do to have all this Instagram stuff and this Pinterest stuff and to show that we're social media savvy, because they're going to expect that when they have Dalton walk in there, and Dalton better have it, because Dalton's got to compete with looking as young as he does, while I might look more experienced, and I am more experienced, but it'll gray up for you, buddy.
Hey,
so
that's the only reason I have a beard is because I look 27, not 23.
Yeah, you look 17 without it. Yeah. But if I'm working with somebody young, they better come in with that. And on the other hand, if I'm older, I better come in with that, because I got to compete with Dalton, right? So you've got to have that stuff. And when you're working with older clients, they're going to say, oh, I don't care about Instagram. I don't care about this and that. Well, that's where you have your stats that 47% of houses are now being bought by people under 35. Right? I just made that up, but you're going to have the real stat. It sounded convincing, but it might be true. It might be true. So, so that's what you want to have those stats and say, look, this is how many percentage of houses are being bought by millennials now, people who grew up with electronics in their hand, right? So that's what you want to do. You've got to stand out, and you got to keep up, because you're not going to stand out against Dalton doing that, because Dalton's got the same thing. But now what if you could get my obvious experience and the technology, and not just Dalton and his technology, right? And then Dalton's going to come over the top of me with he could sell a 400-day house in 2 days, and all that kind of stuff too. There you go. Fernando's got something. He's got 30 under 30. Congratulations, Fernando. Is that old? I can't hear you, buddy.
This is July, August Realtor magazine, and they were promoting 30 realtors under 30.
Sure, yeah. Oh, I thought you were showing me that you won that. I thought it was in a frame that you got that.
No.
You look great. You look great.
At 80.
You're the 80 under 80? I like it. Well, the older you get, the easier it gets to make the magazine.
Okay.
Fantastic.
A quick question for you, Ryan.
Yes, ma'am.
Or for all the agents that mentioned about promotion listing, for example, through Facebook. So I don't have a listing, but if I were to promote somebody else's listing on my Facebook page, but they're from another brokerage, is that allowed, or you have to get it approved through that listing agent?
You get it approved through their brokerage or them. You can contact the agent or the brokerage.
Okay,
but I
so
usually, just for you guys, just so you know, if someone asks me if I can share some of your stuff, I would generally let them, because generally you want it shared.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see why you wouldn't, right?
Aren't
But
they
you just need their permission, right?
You have to get their permission.
Okay.
You have to
But
FRs
if it's from,
use that you don't have to go outside our agency? I mean,
yeah, we should. Well, maybe she's looking for something at a specific street or something like that. But yeah, we have plenty of our brokerage, and you can certainly use them. If any of you agents have a listing you do not want shared for whatever reason, just let me know, and I'll tell people not to share that one. But nobody's ever said that. Nobody's ever complained to me.
Everyone has blanket approval to share anything of my listings they possibly want.
so if it's from our brokerage, then we don't need to contact any agents from our brokerage, right?
You can contact if you want to no, you don't need to. No.
Okay.
But if you ever want to ask, you can. If people ask me from time to time, I say, I haven't heard otherwise, so do it. Yeah, the more the merrier. Go share whatever you want and use that in your presentation, Diane. Use that in your presentation. Look at all the listings that I market and promote. Don't go any further detail about that. Or you can say, guys, if you're newer in this business and you're with our brokerage, you can say look at all of our listings that I've been promoting. Okay? Our listings, right? We've sold, when you're going door to door, we've sold 14 houses in this neighborhood in the last year. Let me show you how I can help you, right? Because it's true, we're all Florida Realty investors, we're all a brokerage. Okay, so we've done it, right?
Right.
Don't lie, but promote truthfully. We've sold that. We sold the house 3 doors down. Just want to let you guys know it sold for $399. It's public record. Sold for $399, and just wanted to see if you guys were thinking about maybe making a move in the near future. We had lots of offers. I've got some people out there who might still be interested in buying, whatever, right? Especially if you see FSBOs. So there's all that stuff to do, guys. See Vivian sharing some information here. Yes, Carol, sorry I didn't ask you this earlier. Carol is a chairperson to the cultural diversity for Aura. That is something you should share with people, Carol. That's a designation. Share that with people. You know, you guys that are multi-million-dollar producers, you guys, all that stuff, share all this stuff with everybody, okay? Orlando Real Estate Joy. I like it. I like it. All right. Any other questions?
Me again. Just real quick, does anybody use like a certain template for newsletters, like a monthly newsletter? What program? Like, is it just standard on a Word program? Something I've been thinking of wanting to do for months, but haven't been on top of it yet.
I use Constant Contact, and I do it once every 2 weeks.
Constant Contacts?
And I send it out to all prior buyers and sellers.
But is that a free program?
It's not free, no.
Okay, well, I'm looking for more free programs that's out there, since my expenses are very limited right now.
I'm trying to think what it cost me. It's not really that much, if I remember right. I think it's like $20 a month, actually, until you get up to 500 people.
What's the name of your program?
It's
I just put it in chat. Constant Contact.
Constant Contact. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And I think it's like $20 a month up to 500 people, which I put everybody that comes to my open houses, and I try to have an open house every other week or every 3 weeks, and I put all their emails in there, and all my databases in there as well. My prior buyers, my sellers, everybody.
Daryl,
Okay.
what method at your open houses are you using to get everybody to sign up?
Just ask them. That's pretty much it. If I don't have my laptop on or anything, or if I'm using my laptop at the time, I freaking have them sign in on a piece of paper. I don't care. I put down name, I put down telephone, or name, phone, and email. Some of them fill out I try to be real friendly with them, so they fill out everything. I get in a conversation with them first. So it's really not that hard. You just say, hey, how's it going? And start talking.
For those of you that are weaker salespeople, let them know, and they resist. Tell them my seller wants to keep track of everybody who comes through here. Okay.
Style Insurance will donate wine baskets for us to take to our open house. So I do drawings. That's how I get them to give me their info.
Perfect.
It doesn't cost me anything other than a ride to Altamont to pick up my wine basket.
Awesome. Love that. Love that.
Great idea.
You guys, hey, you guys, we're recording this, but write this stuff down. There's a lot of good stuff here. And make sure you're not going to do all of it, but make sure you're doing some of it. Guys, you got to stand out. You're not going to get anywhere in this business if you don't stand out. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of you. 1 out of every 77 of you of Florida residents has a real estate license. 1 out of every 77 people.
What's the basket sponsor? Could you please write it down?
She did. She just sent it. She just put it on chat.
Okay.
I think Daryl and Dalton mentioned that they run Facebook ads. So I'm curious, what do you guys, when you boost your posts, Do you guys get a lot of traffic of people contacting you? And if so, what are some things you place on there to get that, to draw people in?
Go ahead, Dalton, you first.
Well, first I'll say to High-End real quick, MailChimp, I believe, is free. And if she wanted to use that for newsletters, I
Oh,
think that's
awesome. Thank
good.
you. MailChimp?
MailChimp, yep.
Okay.
Mail,
Mail, M-A-I-L, right?
yep, MailChimp.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. And then as far as my ads, yeah, I have pretty good success on my ads. I usually will promote my listings more so than anything else. So I'll put all my listing photos in, usually between 8 and 12 photos. And then I'll run that ad and I'll run it from the address that the home's located to a 15-mile radius. And I'll usually spend either $50 or somewhere between $50 and $250 over the course of 5 days. And yeah, my success has been good. Recently I ran a listing in Lakeland, and on the second day of the ad, I got a listing out of it that was $600,000. So, I mean, that's not a bad conversion. So that's really what I just focus on, is running my own listings. I don't boost a lot of posts about other things, just my own listings.
Thanks.
And I do the pretty much the same thing. I also boost my open houses as events. So I try to have as many people in my open houses as I can. I used to do really big in Facebook ads years ago, doing for the niche ads in the downtown condos and so forth. Right now I'm paying a company to do that, quite a bit of money actually, but it's also producing probably, and that's why I'm asking for agents that want to do as buyer's agents for me. I'm producing probably about 20 leads a week right now through the company that I'm working with, but it is expensive.
Are those through Facebook, Daryl?
Sorry?
Are you getting Facebook leads?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're doing actually, it's YLOPO. And
Okay.
they're getting actually Facebook ads, but they're producing huge. That's why I'm asking other people to become buyer's agents for me.
I personally haven't had a lot of success with running ads on Facebook for lead conversion. I get most of mine through Google pay-per-click, but I will say that every now and then I will get a really solid lead from Facebook. For the most part, they're mostly trash. We have an agent here, Mandy Verk. I don't know if she's in here right now or not, but she just listed her home for sale. I ran an ad on her listing, and I got people on there that are looking for rentals in Winter Park, and that's really a lot of what I get from Facebook. So I don't usually use it a lot for lead generation. I just use it for telling my seller, hey, look, I ran an ad for you.
Yeah, Facebook ads take a lot of follow-up, and there are renters to where my company that I pay to do my Facebook ads now, I actually took renters out of the algorithms. So because I was getting too many renters. That's just something that you have to tweak through the time. Mm-hmm. Google ads were huge back in the day also. I used to get, back in the day, used to spend $1,500 a month just in Google ads, but I used to get tons of leads.
Yep.
So, sorry, I got something random. I'm a new agent too, but I'm not very active, but a lot of people call me because they found me on Google, and I don't have a lot of reviews online, but I'm wondering, how did they find me on Google as being a realtor in the area? So that's interesting. Maybe it's all the posts you do on Facebook or something.
Do you have a Google business page?
I do.
Google My Business? Okay. Yes. Tweak that. If you can't tweak it or don't know how, find a company that will tweak it. I just have mine retweaked to where the leads went up tremendously, or actually the searches went up tremendously within the past month or so. And there's all kinds of business out there that will tweak them, and they'll go in there and they'll look at the exact Google My Business page and put up a new banner, whatever needs to be done. Everything in your advertising needs to coagulate together. Your web page, your Google My Business page, your Facebook, everything needs to solidify.
Thanks, guys.
Definitely, like Daryl said on your My Business page, we get traffic just because we have a My Business page. I mean, we've gotten 286 people just because they're like near the office, the Tampa office that we have on Dale Mabry. They're close. They'll search like real estate agent, and then we'll pop up, and then they'll go look at it. They'll go to our website, things like that. So that does drive traffic.
You'll get a lot of that in downtown Orlando, Victoria, too.
Oh, okay.
So how much do you guys have invested in your Google My Business page? Dalton, you're doing Google Ad Lead, so you probably have, it's kind of probably included somehow, but how much do you have invested in it before you had it tweaked, Daryl?
Actually, you know what? You know what's funny? I just started my Google My Business a month and a half ago.
Okay.
First time. I never had one. All 15 years that I've been in business, never had a Google My Business. I just started it, and it's blossoming big time now. It's crazy.
How about you, Dalton? Did you get kind of a package when you did the ad leads thing, or did you just do yours on your own?
No, I did it on my own. I mean, it's free. So the only
Right.
thing invested in is time. Just making sure you're continually posting to it. Make sure all your info is on there. Make sure you have hours on there, a website, an email, a phone number, all those things. Otherwise, it's just a waste of having a page just to have it. You know, if you have all those things on there, people will reach out. So, but now because I do my ads through Google, a lot of it does commingle.
The easiest thing to do is to go on YouTube and search Google My Business and how to promote it and how to make it better, because they'll give you all the tips for free. Super easy.
Awesome. Fernando.
When you put those blogs that has been written for another person, you just need to give the credit, or was the rule around the can I use the blog that somebody write, or what are the rules about it?
Yeah, just give them credit. Say this is what you know, Scott Ellman wrote last month in his blog or whatever. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About the credit. Okay.
That's fine. But that's one of the things also that you guys, I actually have on my list and I didn't talk about. But that's one of the things you guys remember. Christina Rordam came on here a couple months ago. Christina writes for a magazine in Orlando, and she writes the real estate portion of it, right? And she writes about all kinds of on Halloween. In fact, she called me to try to figure out, and she called Nishad, the real estate attorney, to try to figure out what do we have to disclose if we think a house is haunted and all that stuff. And that was her Halloween article. It's just getting your name, it's just getting out there as an expert in real estate, right? And, you know, so she'll write about, next thing will be about something more serious like interest rates or whatever it is she's writing. But just, you know, get your name out there as someone who blogs, and then you start showing up more in searches and stuff as well. So it gets all that stuff out there where you start showing up. I think that's a great example of what Victoria said. She's not really trying with her Google business page, but she keeps getting Googled somehow. She doesn't know how. Well, that's a great problem to have. And actually, Victoria, I think you do a great job on your Facebook stuff. I see it all the time. And I try to like it every time I see it, just to, you know, get more action for it. But that's a great problem to have. Hey, how did you get a hold of me? I Googled and you came up, right? That's pretty cool. And thank you for answering that question just like I wanted you to, Dalton. It's free. What are you doing? Why are you guys still on this call? You should be making your Google business page. Expect to start seeing you guys disappear and go make your Google business page. Seriously, get out there and make it if you want people to contact you. Even if you're just a referral agent, get your name out there and make some referral money by referring it to somebody, right? So get out there and do it. So any other questions or anything you want me to go over more? I kind of ran through my list of stuff, but these are all ideas to help you guys stand out, or to help you guys stay on top of these sales that you have. It is so much cheaper and easier to keep a client than to get a new one. And you've got to follow up, become their realtor. It is so easy. And those of you guys have been in the business for a little bit, people move every 5 to 7 years, and it's nothing like getting that phone call. Hey, it's time for me to sell. I need to move to a certain area, whatever. When can you stop by the house and fill out the paperwork? Is there a better call than that? When can you stop by the house and fill out the listing paperwork? Without even thinking about, because you've been talking to them all this time, right? That's the kind of business that we want to do, but you've got to get there. And you can only get there by making yourself stand out and then following up with people. Otherwise, they forget your name, they're going to call Dalton, right?
Yeah.
That's what happens. Or whomever they stumble across, the next Facebook ad they see, which is why we do Facebook ads. And guys, when I talked about going old school a little bit, sponsored Little League teams, doing stuff like that, don't be afraid to do mailers again. Nobody's doing them. I'm not seeing many of them. People aren't doing mailers. Do some postcards. What's that, Dawn?
I get mailers. I got handwritten envelopes. You know that old trick. So they open up see what it is. I get flyers, postcards, and everything every week.
You get them?
Mm-hmm.
Well, must be they must be doing well in your neighborhood with them, because I don't get them.
You don't get them at all?
Not very often. Not very often. But obviously it's still working for somebody, or they wouldn't be doing it. But that's the kind of stuff that's still working, guys. So keep doing that stuff.
Sorry, Ryan, I just shared my Facebook page for anybody who's interested in like learning how to do those posts. So I've been working on those if you guys need any help with that.
Well,
Okay.
I saw something come up, but it disappeared, so I didn't catch it.
Just hit the chat button, and you'll be able to find everything that's been written today.
Okay.
Yeah, I see
Brian,
it.
what was that earlier that you mentioned about giving some of your commission back to your buyers as an incentive or to charity? Is that pretty common what realtors do?
It's well, giving it back to their clients common, but giving it to a charity of their choice is not that common. And sometimes that charity they're going to say is, look, I don't give to charity because we're always flat broke, right? We've been trying to save for a house. We're trying to send our kids to college. Well, that can be their charity too. And that's okay, because that's important to them. All right. But no, you can give to charity at closing in their name.
Okay, or to your buyer as well. I mean,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So here's the people you can give money to out of a closing. I feel like I go through this a lot, but it's another broker, obviously, for like a referral. So we can write a check to any other brokerage. We can write a check to any of our agents, obviously, right? And we can pay any party to that transaction. So even if we represent the buyer, we can give money to the seller if we wanted to. But any party to that transaction can get some of the money. Okay? Or all the money, or whatever.
Okay.
So that's how it works.
Okay. I just was wondering because I thought we weren't able to give other people money if they're not licensed or something.
Oh, no. If they're a party to the transaction, you can. You can't give the guy who cuts your lawn money for sending your mom to you to buy a house. Okay. You got to give it to the mom.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay.
So I started offering a free move-in or move-out cleaning for my buyers and sellers. I have yet to clean a house. Not me personally, I was going to pay somebody, but nobody's taken me up on it. I haven't spent a penny on it. I just offer it and nobody takes me up on it.
That's fantastic.
I
That's
know.
the best kind of offer to make.
It is. I'm thrilled.
And I've told you guys before, we have an agent who does new home buyer guarantee. You buy a home through her. If you don't like it in the first 12 months, she'll sell it for you for free. Her part of the commission for free, right? Genius. Nobody's ever taken her up on it. Of course, everybody loves their new house 12 months in, right? And even if it didn't, it wouldn't cost her anything except the work of listing it, right? So it's great. It makes people feel good. What does a warranty do? It makes you feel safe and warm, right?
But you're also going to help them buy another house too. So
Correct.
there's still money.
And you become, they are contracted to you for 12 months anyway, right? They've still got a deal with you. They still have a deal going on. It's like, the guy who changes my tires owes me a free tire. I'm not going to go to a different tire guy, right? So you're kind of contracted to that person. Might not be that bad of an idea to say, you know what, I'll do it for the next 5 years. You guys want to, because I'm going to help you buy something else. All right. Any questions on anything? Next week, we're going to do the listing agreement. We're going to talk about listings and the listing agreement. And any other questions on this stuff?
Well, I have a question, but not on this particular stuff. I just have 2 questions, I think. One, I wanted to know, I tried to open a business account at Navy Federal, just, for my real estate. And they told me that I needed to have a business license, not my real estate license. They said a business license or a a DBA.
Okay.
Is that correct?
So, yeah.
Or is that
those are the-
everything I have to say? Like,
yeah, that's their rules. That's not unusual.
well, that's not unusual. So that's a normal. Like, because I thought that our real estate license was our business license, but he's saying we need another one.
Yeah, that's not a business license.
Okay. Okay.
That's probably my bad because I'm the one who tells you guys the minute you got a real estate license, you're in business. You're running a business. So, you know, whether you run it actively or passively, that's up to you, but you run a business. So run it like a business. But no, a business license is a whole different thing. You get that from the jurisdiction, the city.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Joyce shared with you some information about Fifth Third. She said they're really good with small business accounts.
Okay, but she said that I think it said something about you need to incorporate. Like I think I saw something pop up like that.
Well, those of you who want to, if you want to change your license to an LLC or something like that, it has to be your name and then the LLC name. You can't open, you know, Best Homes in Town LLC. I can't pay you like that. It's got to be on your license, and they're only going to make your license in your name. So you can be Fernando Parra LLC, but you can't be Best Homes Ever LLC. Okay?
Okay.
So if you're going to do that, and that's a legal name change you have to do through the state, costs you, I don't know, $25 or $77 or something like that. You do that through the state, DBPR, they'll redo your license. I don't have to do anything. You just get the forms off of the DBPR and send them in.
They didn't accept Fernando Parra Realtor LLC. When I tried to change my license, they didn't accept it.
No, they're
It's
not going to
because
put
the
realtor
plain
in.
name plus LLC.
Yeah,
So you can't
Yeah.
put realtor in your name, is that right?
no.
Yeah.
No, you can for you can do it for your website. You can do it for whatever you want, but not for that. Not for a legal business license. And I can't write that check to you. I can't write Victoria Hoa Realtor. I can write Victoria Hoa LLC. Okay. So that's all we can do. In fact, we can just write Victoria Hoa and you can put your Victoria Hoa LLC account, obviously. Right.
Okay. The next question, I didn't know if anyone had masks made with like the fries, you know, thing on it or anything like that.
No, but that's genius.
With what on
So
it?
they have a Dawn, if you
Fry
want.
or your business, basically.
Dawn, you still live in the Mineola Claremont area?
I do.
The Shirt Shack there on Highway 50 in Claremont, up near 455. Do you know where that is?
I know where the Shirt Shack is.
They've got our logo. This is where mine comes from. It's embroidered. They'll put that on a mask for you for $8.50.
Vivian, move your thing. I can't see his logo. Thank you. There you go.
So if you want to do that, take a black mask up there and it'll look just like this. That's pretty cool.
Nice. Okay. I didn't know like if somebody had ordered, because I didn't know, I hadn't been up to Shirt Shack since you told me about it for the shirt, like what you have on. You told me about it, but I didn't think to go over there for the mask. I didn't. So maybe I'll do that. But I didn't know if anybody else had gotten some. You know.
I just ordered masks, but I didn't put the FRI logo on them.
So you just got regular masks, nothing to promote your business, or you?
I mean, kind of promotes my business, but it's not because I didn't want to break the business rules where we have to have both logos. So like mine is just like that.
Oh, okay. Where'd you order those from?
I ordered them from Vistaprint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's Dalton's logo for his team, the Magnolia Group.
John, do you have your own logo?
No.
Okay, well, maybe you should get your own logo, and actually you can order one through Fiverr. That's where I got my logo, and use your own logo.
Fiverr. Okay.
Fiverr. What is it? FIVRR?
I think it's FYVER. I think.
There you go.
Okay.
I ordered like $20 worth of logos for somebody to make me a logo. So, and this was back when Fiverr probably first started, like 10 years ago or whatever. So I got in like 10, because I think I paid what, $2 or $5? Well, it's $5, Fiverr, duh. So I paid $50 for somebody to do 10 different logos until I figured out which one that I liked the best. And it was $50 for my logo, but I love it.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
Fantastic.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I hope she gets one that says Downtown Dawn. Oh. So, all right. Any other questions for anything? Guys, it's open forum. You can ask about anything.
Oh, Ryan, are the FRI folders free, or do we pay for those?
No, they're not free. We just got a new shipment of them in too. But they're cheap. They're $250.
For one folder?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
They're really nice though.
need some too.
Okay. Well, come by if you guys want. They're at the main office, or I can bring them downtown Victoria when we do that thing downtown we're going to do, whatever it is you want. All right. Viv had a great question. Can she be Village's Viv? I think that would be great for you, Viv. That is right up your alley.
Villages.
So, yes, Daryl.
Nope, I need a catchy name too.
I like that. Villages Viv.
Yeah, that's gonna go. It's gonna go well. High end will work on yours.
Ryan, this is a little off topic a little bit, but I am curious. Have you talked to Mandy Verk about an issue she had today?
Yes, I did. I just got off the phone with her right before this meeting.
What is the resolution to that? That is really interesting.
Okay, so since he already named the agent,
oh, sorry.
There's a contract, and this is a not the first time this has ever happened. I'm going to mute Don real quick. One of our agents has a contract that had been extended because of a title thing from last Friday to this Friday. They got the title thing settled today, and her buyer is anxious to close, as you can imagine. They were supposed to close Friday, and she represents the buyer. So they've got word from title that they're ready to close today. The seller still has a bed in there and still has some dogs in the house because they thought they had till Friday. So the seller is out actually looking at houses and stuff right now with their realtor. Their realtor had kind of dropped the ball on communication and stuff, but unfortunately for our agent, the answer is that seller has till Friday to close. The seller doesn't have to agree to close whenever the title company says. If you extend something to Friday, they have till Friday to close. It says Friday or before. So
even if it says on or before a certain date, the seller can force it to go to that on date?
Oh, absolutely. Or either side can. Either side can. The buyer has the right to wait till the last day. The seller has the right to wait till the last. Most of the time, as you guys know, seller wants to close, and if the buyer is ready to close, then they close early. Mm-hmm. But typically the seller wants their money, But in this case, the seller just hasn't moved out yet because of poor communication. It sounds like poor communication in that the realtor didn't explain to him or her that they have that yes, we have till Friday, but they might close earlier. So they probably said, guys, you've got to be educating all the time. A layperson doesn't know they have until. When you say we move it back to next Friday, we're extending to next Friday, they think, okay, I'll make sure I'm off work Friday, right? They think it's going to close next Friday. We know it's up until Friday. We got another week to work this out, right? We might work it out Monday, we might work it out Wednesday, we might work it out Thursday. But a layperson doesn't know that. So you're always, and Mandy did a good job with her person, but the other side did not do a good job with their person, letting them know, look, yeah, it might be Friday, but it could be before that. So you might want to move your crap out of there. Because right now, she can't do a walkthrough because there's a pit bull and some other dog in there. And the guy's got his underwear and his bed in there and stuff. So she can't do a walkthrough, so she can't be expected to close.
So what if, let's just say hypothetically, a closing date was today, and you came across that, and they're refusing a final walkthrough? What do you do?
There's not much you can do to a seller. You threaten them to sue them for specific performance, mm-hmm. and you might get if I'm losing money, if I lose the deal completely because somebody doesn't want to sell. It's a different question, but let me go to that first. Let's say the seller, and we've all had that, seller changes their mind, doesn't want to sell anymore. Then we can't make them sell their homestead. So But what we can do is we can sue them for our inspection, our appraisal, every penny we spent. If we had to go to a hotel, if we sold our house and now we're out of luck, and anything that possibly has cost us, plus pain and suffering, everything else, we're going to sue them for it, and we're going to win. We're good because they're going to settle, right? If we can't make them sell the house, and on the other side, if the buyer doesn't want to close, like we've all had happen before too, we just get to keep their deposit. That's it, cut and dry. All right, we can't throw them in jail or kill them or anything else. So in this case, if they didn't want to close on time, or let's say it is Friday now and they still got their bed and their pit bulls in there, then we can just threaten. There's nothing we can do. You know, will you please close Monday? And if you cost me money, I can back out of the deal, obviously, if I wanted to, because they weren't ready, willing, and able to close. But now I'm out the money, and if I really want the house, I assume I do since I'm ready to close. So we can't do much to them. We can sue them for whatever it costs us to stay somewhere this weekend or whatever. So there's not much we can do to a seller who's late getting out of the house. A little bit we can do, but not much. If they cost us money, then we can beat them up for it. Sue them for it. Threaten to sue them for it. Does that answer the question, Dalton?
Yeah, that's pretty much my response was, because I was under the assumption that it was like closing today. I was like, well, I think all you can do is tell the agent that she should probably tell her seller to consult with an attorney and find out what the process is.
Yeah, and since they have till Friday, they haven't done anything wrong yet.
Yeah, so they can just Friday.
This is just inconvenient that the title company's ready now all of a sudden, and they're not.
Right.
So they have every right to wait till Friday to close.
Okay.
Is there any limit when it's before the closing date? If the transaction is ready 8 days before, could be, or is there any limit?
Oh, you can close anytime. You can close anytime as soon as they're ready. As soon as they got the title ready. If there's any estoppel or anything like that, yeah, deals will close 2 weeks early. Deals will close all the time early. You like to give yourself enough time to where you don't have to beg for an extension at the last minute, so you can schedule it out further. And you can absolutely close earlier. A lot of people want to close earlier than it says, especially in commercial. They'll close 6 months earlier than what's on there, depending on what it is. Any other questions?
Ryan, you used the verbiage homestead when you were first describing this scenario.
I'm talking about trying to take somebody's house from them. And it doesn't matter if you can't make somebody sell something. If they want to back out, you can only sue them for damages. Okay. All right, any other questions? Well, you guys were awesome. This worked out great. I appreciate everybody coming back for this afternoon. And I hope everybody learned a little something. I appreciate all of you for chipping in with your comments and your ideas and the things that are working for you. That was very great of all of you. And I hope to see you guys next week, where we will discuss the listing agreement and a little bit about marketing listings and stuff like that as well. Thank you to you all. I will see you soon.
Thanks. See y'all.
Bye, guys.